summarize how a city or mobility is changing. Roads used to be for scooters, cars, trucks. Now, it's returning back to pedestrians, humans. Cars are no longer for pleasure. Cars have become tools again to get from A to B. Cars are not driven by person. Cars are driven by computers. Cities no longer streets. It's all sidewalks. And pets, they don't die. And you think this is a movie, right? This is so futuristic, right? This is like you see in a science fiction movie. But this is what Toyota is building near Tokyo. A village, a town with future lifestyle. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right. Okay. I think before we give a Q&A section, I have one question for you. Okay, but from me. Okay. Andy, I have a question about. Okay, in the era where Michael Jordan dominated the basketball field, at that stage, everyone wants to be like Mike. I think after today's talk, everyone wants to like Andy. But the problem is, I don't think anyone is going to expect that they can get a call from Volvo or Avis like you. So what kind of work you're going to give for these students? That how do they prepare for their future? Okay, I think that's what I want to see. What's your opinion about this?
I think first of all, you are already chosen the very correct first step. As I said, I think when I was at Volvo, I had an interview by a reporter. He asked me, so Andy, tell me, what's the best present that you ever got in your life? And without thinking, I said my best present was from my parents. They sent me to Australia, so I grew up in Australia. So guys, especially you guys from different countries, this is your best present. Come on, you live in Taiwan. You are in Hsinchu. Hsinchu now is a crazy city. Where do you see a city? Housing price grew, 100 times in 2 years. That's crazy. Never seen, right? I was like, oh, lucky I bought my house. Otherwise, And as I said, I appreciate Mr. Wang for putting forward this question. I think if I had a chance, I would, besides my MBA, I would go to a different country and do another master's, just for meeting the people, getting the connection. Like I said, when you go to real life, when you get a job, it's very difficult to get that business contact. But if you later on, back to your country, you want to do something and say, hey, I know this guy in Taiwan, they're doing this, let me call him. He's in Hsinchu, he's now in the science park. That's the best connection, because you guys been stuck for years in classes, right? So that's the first thing I would advise you. First of all, really enjoy your time here in Taiwan. Do not just get stuck in classes. Go out, get out there, go to Taipei, go to Hualien, go different places, meet friends, meet people, understand what Taiwanese people are thinking. Why is our food this way? Why is our national dish beef soup noodle, you know. Try different things, you know, be brave. That's the first thing, okay? Enjoy your time here in a different country. Second thing is, I was lucky enough to meet my mentors, you know, Mr. Jan Harrison from Volvo, Mr. Xavier Genie from Avis. You know, they were incredible people. They brought me up to where I'm today. So I always have a theory. I tell my younger friends, I said, you know, life's like an ocean, you know, and you are like surfing. Your wave will come, but are you ready? You know, when your wave is here and you're not ready, you're not surfing, you will get drowned, you know. So get ready. So that's my second thing for you. And third thing is, today, it's very easy to get exposed. You probably, I'm sure you guys all have Instagram, okay? And you, I don't know, some of you probably already Google me already. Everything about me is on Google. But what I'm trying to tell you is, I never really went to find a job. Headhunters, companies came to me. You know why? Because everything I did is listed on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, you guys know LinkedIn, okay? So that's like your credential, that's like your report cards on LinkedIn. People, when they want to find talents, companies, headhunters, they look at LinkedIn. So your first portion is where'd you graduate, okay? And you guys are winning already. You're born in a different country, study in a different country, you try different business, and I encourage you go to an international company. You know, you get exposed, understand how people operate in different countries. But most importantly, when I interview a person, when I have a resume, if you have like 3 jobs, less than a year, I will not waste my time on you, because I don't think you have the determination to really get to know the job. Prove your effort, prove yourself before you quit. I see a lot of young guys, ladies, 3 months here, 6 months there, you know, and they'll tell me, so why'd you left? I say, oh, I didn't like the company. My boss was mean, you know. But really give yourself a fair time in a different job. But also that means really, excuse my language, but Google the crap out of the company before you interview. Google everything. Who's gonna interview you? Who's the company boss? What they do? What's their record? So when the guy asks you this question, I always ask people, so what do you know about my company? And if you can answer this question, I will then ask you, so what do you know about me? Because as I said, everything about me is on Google. So if you don't know, you haven't even tried to study about the job, right? Okay, that's my answer. Thank you.
Okay, quite a different answer. Okay, I think what Andy said is you need to get out, meeting people, making friends, experience different culture, and build up your network of your personnel contact. Okay, maybe someday Andy will call you. All right. Okay. Any questions? Okay, Michael.
A few years ago, I started a startup business right after I got out of college. And I did some servicing on architectural product design. And then after a while, we ventured into consumer products as well. And I remember I experienced a lot of risks in doing that kind of business. My question would be, how did you manage all those risks? And as in our age, young entrepreneurs, how would you say where we set the bar on where we take risks?
Okay, great question, Michael. I think But first of all, congratulations. Really, you have stepped forward. Trying to start up your own business. I think I would say the most foolish persons start their own business. Okay, but also most brave, because there's a stack shared by the government here in Taiwan. 99% of startups don't last. So over, I think, 5 years. So you have 1% survival rate. So that's how tough it is to start a business. So I think, when I say congratulations, I really meant it, because if you have that braveness to start your own business, you're already, taking one step forward. And I think, coming back to your question, risk. I think if you want a stable life, if you want smooth selling, if you want, a life that's, day by day, then you are not entrepreneurial material. But people who started Zepqua, who started Uber, who started all these new, innovative businesses, are all people who are very brave. Risk is the number one concern or criteria when you start a business. Okay, so analyze your risk level, but do it smartly and do it professionally. I think you started that particular business, from what I've heard, I think it makes sense, because I never heard someone providing that kind of service. So there's a market gap, right? So you are entering something that's like an empty space. But I think for any entrepreneur, I think you have to think about a few things. Risk really comes later. The first thing is, how do you get to a certain stage? So you might start up with 500 USD in your pocket, and then borrow 1,000 USD from your friend, and then 10,000 USD from your parents. But what about entering into year 2, year 3? What about when your app is going from version 1.0 to 2.0, when you're hiring another 2 programmers? What are you gonna do? You cannot rely on yourself again, or rely on your parents again, friends again. So I said risk comes after. The first thing is presenting yourself and your business. First of all, believe into what you're doing. You found an empty space, right? So prove it to me, prove it to the market, prove it to everybody else that this service is needed. Second thing, do a compelling, do a presentable deck that's making sense in 5 minutes. So whoever you are pitching to will get it in 5 minutes. My colleague Irene's here. Okay, she's very new in my company, but there's Tina, you saw, my logistics manager when I was working for Volvo, right? She's very senior in my company. I have a thing, I always tell my new colleagues, go and book your time with different managers for 1 hour, so get to know our business, get to know different people. Tina always step in the back by saying to people, if you want to talk to Andy, he only has 5 minutes of patience. If you don't get to a point in 5 minutes, Andy will say, okay, I'm busy. Because, guys, I have to run so many things, so you have to get my attention in 5 minutes. So I'm trying to tell you is, if you believe into it, okay, then analyze your risk. But before that, do a deck on market research, space, entry strategy, and most importantly, why did I go from 7 people, 10 cars, to 250 people, 4,500 cars in 5 years? Because I know if I don't scale up, if I don't build up the fence, someone will come in. So, my answer to you is, risk is after, you compile your deck. You can convince your customer, your potential customer, your potential founder, hey, or banks, they trying to borrow money. My business is here. This is empty. No one is doing it. I have a solution. But do not go to anybody with 50-page presentation. You won't get the pitch. I hope I answered your question.
Yes, definitely, that was insightful, thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Another guys, girls. Anyone? If no, okay. Then that's a good big hand to President Pen. Okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you guys.
Thank you. We got a present souvenir for. Yi Xuan.